So England are in action tomorrow night. They didn't watch Spain last night. They would have watched it through the cracks of their fingers because they are looking pretty frightening at the moment. And England have got to win, really. I mean, if the Netherlands win, that'll be 2 out of 2 for them, and that will be England done.
It'll be such a shame because that's it. And it'll affect the tournament. Let's hope England really can
affect the tournament from our point of view, not if you're Spanish.
No, not if you're Spanish.
You little Englanders in the towel business. Anyway, let's hear from Hannah Hampton. She was chatting to talkSPORT's Courtney Sweetman-Kirk ahead of that huge game with the Netherlands tomorrow live on talkSPORT, and she asked her how it feels being the England #1 at a major tournament.
I don't think there's more pressure. I don't want to put any more pressure on it. I want to have the same mindset when I come away with England, whether I was a starter or non-starter. I think just being able to put on the badge every single day is a proud moment. And yeah, I think being sat here right now, I am proud of myself. There was times when I didn't want to keep playing. There was times when I thought I'd had enough. But I just want to be able to sit here and let people know that even when things get tough and times get hard, it's all about how much you want it. I knew what I wanted to go achieve. I knew what I wanted to strive for, and being sat here right now is helping me get to where I want to be.
There we are, Hannah Hampton chatting to Courtney Sweetman-Kirk. Let's have a chat with former Liverpool and England striker, part of our top team bringing you the Women's Euros, Tash Dowie. Hi, Tash.
Hi guys, how are you?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you. I thought Hannah Hampton had a decent game. She was busy, wasn't she, the other night? Would have given her a lot of confidence. Actually saw a lot of the ball, and she was really important to keeping the scoreline respectable at times.
Yeah, probably a bit too busy for her liking, to be honest, but I think in moments she made some big saves, and I think when you look at the 2 goals, there's not much more she could have done. Every goalie wants to keep a clean sheet, and I think probably the team in general didn't protect her enough.
That second goal especially, I mean, sometimes it's the look of a goal that doesn't help. It was a touch Keystone Cops, the way it was just sort of pinging around our box and we're diving in with tackles.
Well, the final touch that set it up for Baltimore was unfortunate.
It's a bit unfortunate, but it doesn't look great from a team of England's experience, does it?
No, and I think that was an issue, to be honest. I think Lucy Bronze at times, wanted to get forward, but probably chose the wrong times to do that. And I think in that goal in particular, she had bombed forward, struggled to then recover. Give her credit, she did work hard to get back, but then her and Leah Williamson didn't do enough. It was a 2v1. Lucy's dived in. Leah, in my opinion, hasn't done enough. She put her leg out, and Baltimore's gone round them way too easy. And it's a great finish, don't get me wrong, on her weaker foot as well. But in a 2v1 situation with those two, Bronze and Williamson, the amount of experience they have, Lucy knows Baltimore, it's her teammate. You've just got to keep her down the line. So I think overall, the defending as a team from the front to the back just wasn't good enough.
What about, we hear a lot about male players overplaying. Do you think this is happening in the women's game too? Because this tournament came at a funny time. There was a sort of quite a long gap from the end of the season and then this tournament starting. It was, it's
not affected Spain, is it?
No, it hasn't affected Spain. That's true. But you just wonder, really.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's something in the women's game probably over the last 4 to 5 years that it's become more Champions League. I don't think English clubs were used to kind of making those tournaments further on, especially when I was playing. We weren't playing that much football. On top of that, the international football. Clubs like Chelsea as well for the last few years have been involved in every single cup competition right till the end. So for these players now, it's a lot of football. They're lucky if they get 1 to 2 weeks off. And in the men's game, they're used to that. They've been doing that for many a years. But in the women's, that hasn't been the case. And also the squad depth, it's not there yet still in the women's game. So for a lot of these players, they're playing 90 minutes week in, week out for their club. The same at international. People are talking about ACLs and injuries coming into women's game. This has been happening for over 10 years since I was playing in the WSL. But bigger names now, it's been happening to bigger names. So it is definitely that something needs to get looked at. That we spoke about Millie Bright pulling herself out as well because mentally, physically, she didn't feel ready enough. And we don't want that. We want every single player to come into a major tournament feeling fresh and feeling excited and ready to go.
With respect to Wales, you do expect France to beat them tomorrow, which means England have really got no choice, have they? They've got to go out and get the 3 points. Otherwise, that's it.
Well, no, they could draw.
Well, they could draw.
They could draw, beat Wales, and then they'd rely on France beating Holland.
But they don't want to be in.
That's not ideal.
The reigning champion shouldn't be looking for snookers, should they? They just got to go out and keep it in their own hands.
No. Yeah, and I think when I look at Stanway saying, look, enough talking now, we want to just play the game, I think they have to obviously improve massively. When I look at the Dutch team, the thing that I'm a bit worried about is the bite that the Dutch have, the aggressiveness. You know, Jill Roord, Pelova, Van der Donk, you know, all these players are quite aggressive players, Groningen, whereas I felt like we really lacked that the other day. We didn't have that fight. I think our midfield lost the battle. So a fit Georgia Stanway, she's that type of player. But in my opinion, I would love to see Serena Wiegman go 4-4-2, put Beever-Jones up front with Russo. I thought she was isolated the other day. The Dutch don't have the pace that the French do as well, so you don't have to worry about that pace in behind or the counter-attack. So I would love to see her more positive, bring in a Grace Clinton as well into that midfield to give that little bit of bite, maybe a Chloe Kelly. She has that aggression. But yeah, we need to be 100% better, otherwise we will be going home because the Dutch will be full of confidence.
Maybe Lauren James has got another game in her legs. I mean, she had that chance earlier on that, I don't know, I mean, she could easily have put that away. She's proved that in the past. I mean, she's going to be key. Agyemang as well. There's been a lot of talk about her getting a chance. She's a bit of a wild card.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Lauren James, actually, considering she'd been out for a long time, looked the sharpest in the England team, fitness-wise as well, tracking back, doing her defensive duties. So I see her starting again in this game, especially because it is a must-win. You know, maybe if it wasn't a must-win, you'd maybe bring her on, and I would like to see her finish a game off and help England, you know, finish strong. But I would start her again from the off. I think she was really our only real threat in the game v France. And Agyemang as well as a wild card. Would I start her? Maybe not. I would go with more of a Beever-Jones, bit more experienced. I think she was really unlucky not to get on the other day. But you know, you've got a plan B now with Agyemang. If things aren't going right, you can be a bit more direct. Her presence physically, you know, the French couldn't handle, and I think that'll be the same come Wednesday.
Spain did concede a couple of goals yesterday, and Belgium created chances. But I mean, say going forward,
is brilliant.
Yeah, and Esther's been fantastic as well. You just sense that even if you might score a couple against them, but they'll outscore you every time.
Yeah, they are. They're phenomenal. There's definitely weaknesses there, though. I think the centre-half pairing are quite slow. So I think if you can exploit that, I think actually set pieces-wise as well. You saw the Belgium set piece. If you've got a little bit of height and you put it in there, they don't like that physical side. So I think against Spain, you have to get up against them. You have to show that physical side. If you let them get into their rhythm and let them dominate the ball, then it's going to be a long 90 minutes. But I think every team will be looking at those 2 goals that Belgium scored and thinking, OK, maybe this Spain team isn't as perfect as everyone thinks. But the football and the goals that they scored, it's a pleasure to watch, to be honest.
All of it's a pleasure. I watched the second half of Italy-Portugal last night. Lit up by a great goal by Girelli. It was an incredible, would have been any keeper in any league.
Wonder goal.
And then Portugal came storming back when you thought Italy would close it out. It was a really interesting
They were close
half.
to going out the tournament. So yeah, it's been some really good games. So Tash, we'll hopefully catch up with you tomorrow ahead of the game. Thanks very much.
Yes, take care, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's Tash Dowie there, formerly of England and Liverpool. And I did actually ask Prince, the talking dog from That's Life,
Did you?
who his favourite player was in the Spanish side.
Yeah.
And he said, Esther.
That is a really old reference.
He did. And it's great he's still going, considering he was on telly in about 1976. Well, I'll see your Norman Vaughan. I'll raise you Prince, the talking dog
I bet
from
you
That's
Prince
Life.
is on YouTube. I bet
Of course
if you
he is.
looked him up, you'll find him.
Of course he is. And I'm not taking any nonsense.
Talking dog.
The dog could talk. Everybody's got their own theories, and I've got mine. That game live tomorrow, of course. England versus the Netherlands on talkSPORT. That's the early kickoff tomorrow.
Yeah.
On talkSPORT 2, we're going to bring you Wales against France.
Okay.
All the Wales and England games in the group stage and all the latter stages.